Hello and welcome back. Well, we've just finished Uru Prime, as it's sometimes referred to, the original content of Uru. But we're not done yet, not even close in fact. We have two expansion packs to work through, Tudani and Path of the Shell. And first we will do Tudani. Before I do that, however, there's a few things I want to point out to wrap up some of the things that Yisha said in the ending, in the previous video. For one thing, we got another Relto page, which, as you can see, makes it rain here in Relto. Yisha also mentioned that she wrote Relto and that it reminded her of another home. Now, what could she mean by that? Well, if you look at Relto, doesn't it remind you of something? It looks a little bit like Myst. And that's what she meant. Relto is supposed to look like Myst. She said she even put the library in the correct position, and indeed our library on Relto is in the same position that the Myst library was on Myst. Meaning that this area here would be where the docks were, where you begin in Myst. You can also notice that the Starfisher has closed itself again. Oh, that's not a problem. If we want to go back to the desert, we can now do so by using this new book that we've gotten, which can take us to either the rainy or the sunny version of the cleft. Yisha also said she gave us some cloves to show what side we were on, if sides were taken. And we can find those here in the closet. Those cloves are this. These are the cloves she referred to. Well, that's all very nice, but I'm just going to go back to my Riven shirt. It's approximately the right color, but doesn't really matter. Okay, so Tudani. Well, all the way in the beginning I pointed out that there was a book here with this symbol on it, which represents Tudani. So let's see what it says. Agura and Bevin. There were some who came here thinking they could build the tree, but only a dead tree is built. Life cannot be assembled from remains. And now these builders are gone. What has happened to them? Are they now part of the remains, or have they become part of the tree? For the tree does grow. The great cavern breathes voices in places. In the great void. The cold continue their journey here, building or growing. It is their choice. One new book, given to open up paths in the cavern, given to open up the origin, given to open up a glimpse of the future. Well, that's it. Nice and short. And I think that's written by Yisha, and it basically gives her opinion of the Dani restoration efforts. She believes cannot really work that way. Well, the main reason Tudani exists at all is to give access to some of the content from Uru Live, after it had been cancelled, to people who weren't part of Uru Live, and to wrap up the story of the DRC. Well, we'll start out by checking this book, which we haven't checked before. We have actually been to this balcony here, as well as to the top of the classroom, both of which we found via Barrow Linking Stone. But now we're going to use this page where we haven't been before. Now this book takes us to a neighborhood called Bevin in Dunny. Well, there we are, in our neighborhood. We're standing in a plaza of some kind, and there's a fountain in the middle. Looks very nice. Look behind us, we can see an imager, which shows various images. Well, they're not the images that I took with my key. Well, I guess they're images taken during Uru Live, or maybe they're just staged images. I don't know. People standing in the fountain. They show in any case, they show images of the explorers who were here before. On the other side, we also see an imager, and this one shows a record of visitors who've been here. From system, subject, visitors, visiteur, bezoeker. You can see the last two visitors is me, 2009. Before that, the last guy who was here was in 2004, was Douglas Sharper, our old friend from Teledan. And most of the other names, they look like nicknames people may have been using on Uru Live. I'm not sure if these were actual players of Uru Live or if this is just made up. They look like they could have been actual players. On this side there is a telescope. I'm not entirely sure what we're looking at. I think it's Agura. Oh yeah, it's definitely Agura, because this is the Karaf gate, I think. Anyway, if it's not Agura, then maybe someone can point out what it is. But I think it's Agura. Because these neighborhoods, as far as I understand, they are on the side wall of the cavern, while Agura itself is an island. Okay, well, let's look around some more. There's some cones here and a beach ball, which we can kick around. According to a glossary I found online, it's called Eddie the Beach Ball. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that either, but apparently that's its name. There's a sign over here. Welcome to Bevin. For more info, go to the classroom. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. For now, let's go up here. Well, we can overlook the plaza from here. There's a room behind us, which is the community room. It looks like an assembly hall, probably used for public meetings or something. If we go to the speaker place, then we can push this button here. It's a scrambled message. It appears to be in Dunny, so no idea what that means. Is it just me, or does it sound like Russian? Somehow it just reminds me of, you know, what radio communications of Russian spacecraft sound like. That's probably just me. Now let's check down here. There's a colorful looking garden down here. This is the stone garden, also known as the light garden. And behind us here is a broken device. So it apparently had an imager in it. We can still see some remnants of the projection. And I think this was a game that you could actually play in either Uru Live or in Until Uru, the revival of Uru Live that came later. Well, this particular game device is broken, so this one couldn't be used. But from what I've read, it was actually possible to play that game. Well, we'll look around in this garden some more in the next video.